Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my precious pack, and welcome back once more to Vega Conflict. We are currently in an Overseer 110. I'm going to show you all how to farm it. And before we go too far into the attack, I'm just going to say, for the question, the question that's most related right now is, can you farm a Overseer 110 for the Mark II fragments using a Behemoth? Just a Mark 1 that you farmed for. No, not quite. You need a fleet. Yeah, you need a fleet. It's as easy as that. Because the Behemoth doesn't have enough ablative recovery to actually maintain itself, and it actually loses it fairly easily. And due to the range on some of the ships in the target, it can get pretty messy pretty quick. And to avoid repair time, I would advise using a Sovereign Carrier, 2 cruisers, preferably wraiths, due to ablative regeneration. They do not have to be Mark 6. Mark 1 works as well because Mark 1 was what I used, but your fittings are going to be important. You're going to want damage and you're going to want ablative recovery. So you get to make the choice, do you want blight weapons or do you want standard energy weapons? Standard energy weapons, you can increase the range. I would recommend the blight weapons as well as a single set of harmonics on the ship. I would recommend the harmonic beam capacitor, level 3, as well as a arrestor beam to help slow down the targets you're going to be fighting most of the time. But the attack, as you can see so far, it's extremely straightforward in terms of what you need to do. Just kite and run as always. Okay, now they're getting a bit too close, so you need them to back off a bit to keep the repair time down. And here comes the most important part. If you can outrun the battleships, you can avoid the vast majority of the repair time. Now, you're about to see what I mean in just a moment when you attack the Behemoth. 2 cruisers are optimal for this attack because you want to more or less force the AI into a scenario in which you can choose which target it's firing at as well as the engagement range. And those 2 things alone will dictate how much repair time you take. Right now, it's a very low repair time because it's only on the Sov, which isn't that bad. And the reason I've gone with going north with the attack is because I want to be closer to the Behemoth to start with, because I want to keep my fleet fairly well together to start with. And when the Behemoth engages, I want to run away to start with to destroy its ablative layer of armor. Then I want to rush it with the elite wraith, which you can just use a standard wraith, as I said, and your objective is to reduce the damage it can deal. I would, however, recommend using Nova missiles or something like that for the ship, and that is specifically for damage to help with the ablative recovery and things like that. But try to keep the Behemoth going between your 2 ships, the two groups. You want it trying to attack the wraiths, but you also want it to be attacking the Sov at the same time, because you want it to be doing this. You want it to be going between the 2. And the reason you want to do this is so you can try and keep it attracted to the wraiths. Because so long as it isn't attacking your Sovereign Carrier, you can strip the ablative layer off, and the minute it starts firing, turn around and strip its ability to fight away. And again, try and keep your ships close together because you want the Sovereign Carrier to do most of the work. And if anyone has a Sovereign Carrier with all level 2 Cyclotron beams, this will be much easier because you'll be able to actually destroy the Behemoth in the first volley. And now is where the ships actually come in, decoys. And as you can see, the repair time has been extremely low thus far. Now, another way you can reduce the repair time, when you're engaging the Behemoth, unlike what I did where I kept my ships bunched up, do not keep them bunched up. Have the wraith, have the group of them, split and go around it. Have them go in 2 separate ways. And that's all there is to an Overseer 110. I'll show you the fittings in just a minute. Okay, while we wait for it to get back to the base so I can show the fittings. The fitting that I had on my original Wraith Cruiser was Ablative Armor level 1 by 3, so you need 3 of it. Thonian Armor 1, just 1. Harmonic Chase Thrusters 3. Harmonic Beam Capacitor 3, which I'm actually going to recommend that you guys drop the Harmonic Beam Capacitor 3 and go for just a standard Beam Capacitor 3 to help reduce the weight and to allow you to equip all level 2 Nova Rays. Well, not Nova Rays, Nova Cannons in this case, with the simple goal of trying to get the highest amount of energy damage, or alternatively, if you want to go blight damage, then you'll use an Arrestor Beam. And the only point of the Arrestor Beams is to slow targets down, but not the Behemoth, because 100% resistance. Let's take a look at the repair time. 16 minutes, not bad. With mostly free repair time or low repair time on the entirety of the fleet, that means that your average is going to be 1 to 2 minutes of repair time. And that's just a very, very quick, easy, just run it all down. One Wraith should have taken a minimum of at least 10 minutes of repair time. If it didn't this time around, then I did something differently and just didn't even realize it. Now, the fitting I have for mine right now is all Blight, because again, extremely high Blight recovery. And you don't need anything over Ablative level 2 for the Wraiths for this situation, because they excel at what they do, and that is reducing the damage they take through combat. And I'm going to be using a Wraith Mark V with a fairly light weapons fitting but heavy missiles, because I've been having a little bit of trouble with the Mark VI grind target, so I'm going to try out the Wraith to help reduce the effective damage, because I didn't pick up the can't even remember the name of it. Whatever the one is for the Behemoth, the Dreadnoughts, things like that. The one that reduces the damage the target can dish out by reducing its reload speed and stuff like that. The Aggressor? I can't even remember the name of the special. But I'm positive someone else will be able to say it in the comment section. But I don't have that, and I haven't used it on my ship yet, but I do have a build for it that I can implement it into if it comes back again at some point in the future. Because it was one of the items I never picked up because I saw the weight for it, and I thought, Behemoth Array weighs enough, and it's got enough problems with weight, so not really going to add more to it. But once more, that was the Overseer 110 target with the Christmas Salve. And again, you can't farm the Behemoth target, the Mark II, with the Mark I, because its ablative recovery is just, it's so abysmal at that base level that it's extremely difficult to maintain it without assistance from other ships. And if you do use other ships, it would be possible, but you'd have to babysit your Behemoths extremely, extremely carefully. And you'd have to pay attention to it, because if it becomes the focused fire target, it's going to lose its ablative armor and begin to take heavy damage. But I hope this helps everyone start working for the Mark II target. Tomorrow, I'm going to set up and show you how to farm the Mark III target using your Behemoth. You have to have the Behemoth to at least Mark II for this to work, but you can farm for the Mark II with just the Behemoth. And if you have a good fitting, you'll survive just fine. And tomorrow, there's also going to be a special drop. We're getting the first targets for the Segfault Dreadnought, the Pharmacon Dreadnought. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a look at them as well later on. But that's going to be it, everybody. If you have anything to add, feel free to say so in the comments. If you want to say hi, say hi. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe for more. If you want to support the channel, feel free to leave a like. That's going to be it, everybody. As always, stay safe out there in the void, and I will see you in the next video.